Yeah, we've also seen twice as
Right,
many
ladies and gentlemen,
games from them in EWC.
it's Mambo number 5.
So I think Gen.G
Download
still a lot to
GX
show.
using my link to support the channel.
For game number 1.
And then you can get yourself, you know, some shields so you don't see these ads I'm about to send.
On it. ShowMaker brought it out for the first time in the LCK this year and looks
Dplus versus Gen.G.
I think it's a very, very good multi-string band there.
I love you, Gen.G, but there's something in the air about seeing Dplus succeed that I just need. I need that to happen.
This meta
You like
is
Greek
so
food? I love
up in the
Greek
air
food.
in terms of pick priority. We
Honestly,
see first pick
I just
ours,
love
for
food.
example, with no Vayne ban here.
I just love food.
In this final spot, the Olaf counter pick has been working.
Like the only thing that
but we will have to wait to see what this final
for
ban
me, the
is.
only
There's
measurement is
clear
like
and
quality.
cut must ban here, and it will be the Jace.
Well, the Vi is up and available. That has been a very popular one.
Yeah,
that has sometimes snuck through.
Also, a pick Canyon is very proficient on. I do think with Victor and Syndra,
Thinking about it just sticks for Prime.
The mages going down the bot lane. I'm thinking like Ziggs still open and available as something that's
Javan.
priority. The Cassiopeia is slammed down. Obviously, it flexes pretty much every mage.
We got Javan, we got Lee, we got
on.
Yeah, I do like this
Vi
Cassiopeia pick that leaves open a Vi plus, you know, a setup mid laner to play with it.
We got
here
Ziggs as well here.
Dplus, so that one will come through. Ari
Favorite
has
UK
out
food?
Of favor in a big way in this tournament. So Vi Ari,
Indian
we used
food.
to see in the past. Vi Rumble, we used to see a lot in the past. Both of those not on the cards here. So using some extra time here, I think, to think about what they want to do into this Cassiopeia, because it's also a flex pick. So maybe we'll see something that matches the flex in a Taliyah. Taliyah Vi, also one of those older classics.
I ate at the place called Shuma in London. It was amazing.
It's another one of these flex picks towards the bottom side of the map, so you don't necessarily know where it's going to be. Is it going to be Smash? Is it going to be
I haven't had proper English food, so I can't really tell.
Playing the Taliyah as much, but we know that Pays really likes it. We know that Viper really likes it, and it is something that they could definitely be experimenting with.
I wonder if Gen.G go towards Naafiri here, which has been originally when Naafiri came to the meta, it was as a counter into Vi.
Yeah,
I've seen Naafiri.
Not easy to play Naafiri into Taliyah. Good combo already, good starting for Dplus.
Ways to circumvent that as an
I think Taliyah can always match Cassio.
See what is going to be the follow-up here, because
do
if
they
you
pick
a bottom
Camille
lane,
here?
Then
That is a question.
Falls away. You'll go for a top lane pick. It's going to have to be safe, and you can't go for Gnar here because there is a waiting
Shen slam. I don't know if I believe in that.
Ultimately, they will go for the Shen, which is also flexible. Can be a counter
think
pick
here
for a lot of top lane
Kia can
matchups,
easily
not the
pivot
Jace,
away
it is
from
banned away, but can be played in the
the
support role
Camille
as well.
Shen
So
conversation and just pick a standard support.
Especially in game 1 of a Fearless series. I think I'm really excited for finals tomorrow. We get best of 5.
Oh yeah,
keeping your cards close to your
into
chest,
bans.
especially in that
Why
first
not?
game,
You have
is what it's
Vi
all
already
about.
showing, and they can
like
ban René
Dplus not going to
Rigatoni.
mess around with wondering
You can ban
where the Shen is
Rumble,
going. They're
you
just
can
going to
ban
lock in a
Yorick.
strong top side
Some
pick
good
in
choices
the
we can
Ambessa.
make.
And this could be the top side of the map locked in for Dplus, but we still retain that Taliyah flex for now.
Already with these 3 picks from Dplus, though, if you're playing in a mobile pick, even if you're not, if you get hit by 1 bit of CC, you are probably just
Isn't
dead.
UK food just canned beans?
Or the Taliyah,
I don't think so.
Them. So if I'm Gen.G, I'm thinking, how are we going to protect our Cassiopeia and whatever our other carry pick is? So perhaps Dplus will start to ban away some of those safer picks that can survive. Actually going for the Nectin, freeing up the Ambessas. Obviously, that's one of the better matchups into it.
I think
Rigatoni.
bruisers and tanks are your biggest
Shen
fear
could go
here
top.
Dplus Kia, depending on
They
what
could
you want to
pivot
play in the bottom lane.
and pick a food
Because
bot
this is a
lane.
pick comp now, so having a front line could be
Because Shen into
problematic, especially if
Ambessa
Cassiopeia
is
protected.
definitely playable.
That's just so much damage output that they don't have consistently right now.
One of the big value things of having mages into the bot lane into compositions like what Dplus has so far is that you can build a Zhonya's, you can build a Seekers and not feel as bad about it. We've obviously seen sometimes 80 carries have gone in that direction, but playing into that sort of composition, the stasis is just so high value.
I wonder if Kai'Sa would be a consideration for Gen.G to ban, even though Kai'Sa isn't that popular right now. It works incredibly well with the dive they have set up here, and would throw a bit of a curveball towards Gen.G, who banned the Ahri, again, into that theme of the single target pick.
Yeah, also assuming that Taliyah could be flexed towards the bottom side of the map, so not getting surprised about that one just yet. The Vayne going to be taken away, full protection for the Ambessa, and one more ban to come in. One thing that is kind of intriguing is the Camille situation. Could be something that Korea could bring towards that bottom side of the map. We've seen it paired with this Taliyah quite a few times.
I also think, you know, an Akali could potentially be something scary. You've seen it picked into the Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
If that does go in the mid lane, fits on theme with all the dive quite well. And it's just difficult
Vayne
to pin down, especially when
Renekton.
your CC tool you have at the moment is
So,
that Shen And
Kiin in the past has played Yorick. He's played, which I don't like super much here in this game. It'll be okay. Rumble, a little bit too AP heavy.
I don't think the Shen is likely to be played in the top
Shen
lane.
top lane is
Ambessa,
possible.
so you could go
it might be the best option, honestly.
The flex of the Taliyah, or you could just line it up right now and wait until you get the additional information about the Shen.
Here, Dplus Kia needs to pick support on 4. And if the support on 4 is too weak into like...
Oh, yeah.
As they're going to go for a safer option here in the Ezreal.
Yeah, putting that one into the bottom lane, unless... I mean, when ShowMaker
Gen.G
did have
wanted to play Kaiser this game.
He did hard carry the game.
They wanted to play Caitlyn. They wanted to play Bard. They can still pivot out of that, right?
Theoretically be playing it, but not likely. And so that will kind of confirm where
they
things
could play
are going.
Kaiser Shen bot lane, but doing that blind is not super easy, you know?
Shen is confirmed to be support or not.
Leona feels like it's the most likely option, no matter what happens.
I actually think Leona is just
Jhin makes Shen bot lane more likely, and it seems like Kiin has gonna play like Nar maybe top.
Dive like Kaisa, he's not getting on top. But when they can't move, you can't miss your Qs. You can't miss your Ws, you know?
I think the Jhin here makes a lot of sense, given the fact that you need someone that can operate from a long distance. Ezreal would have fit that bill, but obviously denied in this situation. And now we get to see what's going to be picked up for Kiin. The expectation is Shen's going to go bot lane, and he's going to have a pick. But yeah, they could flex it in the other direction. And they're actually going to put
it is Shen top.
Go bar, Jhin bar together. And that also means when that layered CC comes through...
Not gonna lie, I kind of like Dplus draft.
And theoretically, they could go towards Camille here as well. We've seen Camille picked into the Bard to deny the magical journey. Instead... It's going to be go toe-to-toe with this bot lane and really put the pressure on. I think this Karma does come in.
The Ezreal pick just really hits super hard for me now that I see everything that's come together. When the Jhin comes through, you know the Bard is like it, but it gave them so much flexibility because you can go Karma, and Karma often is a give and take. You get the winning lane, but you don't have Engage, but the rest of their comp is all Engage, so it allows them to have the insane Ezreal lane here. They held the flexibility. Now they're playing the Bard. They need that wave
Dplus Kia did a great job
for this lane into the Jhin Bard, and now they have it. I think
they did counter Vi pretty hard, but Vi honestly doesn't need to ult.
Great setup. The one that sticks out.
I don't know if that makes sense, but Vi doesn't need to ult. You can just wait. You just wait. Let Ezreal and Taliyah carry the game.
Is top strong tier picks.
Similar to how Kana and Kalist played, of course, their team fights. They were pushing forward and leveraging range. It was very nice. It was very beautiful.
On the top side of the map as well into the Ambessa.
Yeah, to me, I think something that really worked out well is we had a heavy commit from Dplus into things like the Vi, the Taliyah, the Ambessa, and the fact that you have, you know, an AD carry can operate from super far away. You have a jungler who can go untargetable. You have the bottled. I think Gen.G have given them so many tools to navigate that initial engage. And I think it's going to come down to just that opening salvo from Dplus, Gen.G trying to reposition, re-navigate, and then re-engage in return. But I do think they've given themselves the room to breathe that they needed in those 5v5s.
Well, I have a very clear idea as to which composition I like the most, and it's very easy for me. One team has Jhin.
No pay versus no tax.
Has the winning draft
with money on the line.
We did see Ruler get solo killed by
both
Kalist
teams
in
have
the
reasons
Jhin versus Ezreal matchup.
to give it
we'll
their
see
all.
whether Smash
find
a similar avenue to success in this game, or whether playing behind that curtain call is actually going to be able to get Gen.G over the line, because the guy that's all about the DPS in this one for Gen.G is going to be Chovy. And if all of your eggs are going to be in any basket, it's probably his that's going to be the most safe as we get onto the rift here for game number 1 of this best-of-3 semifinal between Gen.G, the title defenders, and Dplus Kia, the unlikely attendees of the semifinals.
Such a crazy run through the qualifiers from, you know, Siwoo's Alawi to insane outplays by Smash to get here and upset some of our major players in the LCK along the way.
They beat Home Life Esports, didn't they, in the qualifiers in order to even get here? It's nuts what they were able to get done.
They were able to overperform, and KT was on the decline at the time, but KT Rolster could have been here otherwise based on how they finished LCK-wise in the first half of the year, lead up to road to MSI. A bit of a trade here in the mid lane. ShowMaker, a player who has loved Taliyah since she has been back in the mid lane. It was a jungle pick briefly a few years ago. So he's got a lot of experience on this one. Kiin playing Shen is the reason why I thought maybe this is going to be a support pick. For those who don't know, or just watch international tournaments, or maybe just came here because you heard the news about KC, our region plays Shen support. We don't really do the top lane thing that much.
No, Kiin though did learn that Shen was a top laner at first stand. He definitely did figure that one out. We have seen spatterings of it since, but like you say, it's not really a mainstay in the top lane.
Wasn't it them who played the Cog Lulu Shen in the playoffs? I know one of our teams did and kind of copied the G2 draft.
Someone did. I can't remember exactly.
That did happen. I know that it was... The Cog Lulu was definitely played by T1. It was FaZe that debuted in the LCK this year, but I'm not entirely sure whether it was with the Shen as well. As in the meantime, we're having a look at Siwoo, having a rough time into Kiin towards his top side of the map, does manage to even out the trade as he backs away. But there is a lot of back and forth here in these lanes so far.
All right.
I think bot lane, there is more from
Let's focus in
now than ever before for this Ezreal Karma to come out ahead.
We agree, Gen.G just won AWC.
Does a pretty decent job of trading and mitigating some of the pressure to sustain. But when we get to the later points
they're
of
on paper the best, but
game, he will be able to roam about.
All forms of paper has been on fire this tournament, bro. This tournament should have been free for BOG actually.
Practice himself. Whereas I feel like Karma, you need to put the hurt down in the 2v2.
And then T1 Gen.G should have been the finals.
An uncomfortable position.
And now we're here.
Yeah, again, there's not a lot of engage in this bottom 2v2, but it's about what happens with the rest of the top side of the map when we get to those
Just follow the vibe, bro.
There. Playing through Ambessa, though, is not, I think, going to be the way they want to do this. I think they will still keep the focus bottom and mid, especially against this immobile Cassiopeia. Getting a
Chovy
flash
movement
early is so incredibly valuable when
ShowMaker
you're
spelling
playing Cassiopeia and you have Vi. You know, that is so easy to set up a kill. Point and click, post 6 for Lucid, so pre-6 if they can
Chovy's still giving me best mid laner in the world vibes.
Here for Chovy, it will be a huge win.
Even though he didn't make MSI, bro, he was playing really good in the LCK, bro. He was kind of elo held.
Siwoo looking for an angle towards Kiin on this top side. Does not quite find it there as Duro just walking around, picking up chimes, having a good time on the bar. Teleport does come back, and yeah, gonna try and stop Kiin from being able to go back home.
He has the health pod advantage right now. The wave's in a bad spot for Kiin.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. Kiin's in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna have to fight his way through this cannon wave. Should be able to do it, but not the back he wanted.
And it's gonna remain pretty annoying. As you can see, Lucid in the area as well, so even if Canyon comes over,
Knight is a phenomenal player. Like, we don't need to underplay Knight and his greatness.
The fact that Kiin is trying to deal with this wave state, sorting that one out. Might be able to
Chovy, Knight, and Caps, they all represent the same thing in their regions.
Greatest of positions for this Shen to be in.
It's just a varying degree of difficulty.
If we ended up getting a 2v2 on the top side, it's so delicate because there's such high value skills like the Taunt, like the Q from the Vi, where if they connect, you can completely turn it in that team's
BDD2?
favor.
Nah, you don't understand the comparison I'm making.
It was scary. I'm not sure if that top ward is double warded with a ward for each, since the minimap kind of just puts the second one on top, but if Kiin didn't have a ward there, it's even scarier, right? Knowing that Lucid was on the top side of the map.
Did she level up in this tournament?
But ultimately, he will be able to get that back off.
She was like always the type of player, I don't know, there's something very special about him.
As a result of that freeze.
Yeah.
But then he just has free cases. You think to yourself, what on earth are you doing, son?
I mean, this isn't the end of the world, right? You're expecting the Ezreal Karma to have push in this lane.
She was doing great so far in this game.
Storm, see whether they can come out ahead. I think the Ezreal is just going to feel a whole lot more valuable for quite a long time here in this game, though. Moving towards those first couple of items where Smash will really be able to leverage that mobility.
Oh, really, Max? You think an AD carry is going to be more valuable?
Yeah, I think that.
I'm shocked.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Hey, look, at least I said Ezreal, and I didn't say if it was any champion, they'd be in a better spot. You know, I'm trying to keep it analytical.
All right, let's see it.
Canyon in the back of this pit, possibly having a rough time, but there is the magical journey over. Canyon's still going to be taken down, and first blood goes over to Smash.
baby.
Ruler not going to be
Gen.G desperately approaching this fight with a weaker bot lane stay.
Dragon and Wolf, I want to give away
DK side, they're very happy, you know, like 1k gold lead with a Vice scaling to level 6.
I feel like Dplus are going to win this game.
Well, this draft is looking juicy.
I've been feeling it for a few days now, but especially after watching Casey get the upset yesterday, it feels like anything is possible. Now, this replay here, we're going to take a look at. Canyon's isolated, and they have full priority. Duro and Ruler are going to try to magical journey in, but the timing here of this charged Q
no
is
idea what Gen.G was thinking. No idea what Kanye was thinking.
They get Duro's flash, they get a kill.
Like,
they get the dragon, they get a flash.
This is how I would play if I was placed in silver.
That's something you could
and I want to carry a game on Naafiri, bro.
A bridge too far.
I feel like the
Extremely
value of the
disrespectful.
W is so high into so many abilities, but into the Karma Tether, once it's there, you can't
Damn,
do
that's a
anything
beautiful
about it
drawing.
break the distance, so
Did she draw that? That's amazing.
To capitalize and a strong
what on earth?
Yeah, that Jhin eating the key, by the way, next to the Eiffel Tower. That was absolutely awesome.
Love to see that.
Yeah, bit of artwork here in the crowd. As Kiin, and she is still isolated here towards the top side of the map, as Kiin does manage to get into his dodge field, but doesn't exactly get the most massive amount of value from it. She still with a slight lead up there in the top lane, but with just core fields, it's not really going to be changing too much just yet. Does want to get towards that Eclipse before that power spike really lands.
Yeah, it doesn't feel super fun playing the Shen when you get your level 6 and it's not something that helps you with the lane. The Ambessa gets all that.
Are we talking about Ambessa level 6 again?
All the stats that Ambessa gets just from leveling the ult up. So, yeah, definitely we saw Kiin have
got that helm
in the 1v1, and now it gets a bit trickier, I feel like, in that matchup, especially, as you said, when Siwoo hits that one item. And really Kiin is looking and thinking, how can I impact the map when my lane is a lot harder to win at this point?
Well, pressing R is probably going to be the start here. Does have that Stand United up and available. We'll see where it's going to be used first, as ShowMaker and Chovy just been trading back and forth here in this mid lane. Slight advantage for Chovy, but nothing really to write home about.
Lucid hasn't made any appearances in the bottom lane, obviously getting that dragon early, but hasn't, really ganked directly, nor has he tried to get the flash out of Chovy. So it's been a pretty quiet game for him outside of that really nice play into Canyon moments before. But the lanes have just been left to their own devices here, as we do see him now coming down to try to wrap around here and push them off of this turret.
Yeah, Career going to be able to get in here, takes down that captive audience as well. As Lucid trying to stay out of vision. Duro spots him moving in, but now Ruler is possibly in trouble as ShowMaker's going to turn up as well. 4 versus 1.
Okay,
comes in.
Look at that, bro.
Shot pushes him back. The
all right,
arrives,
can we save Private Ryan, get the Q out?
Lucid going to try and escape here, and he does create some distance as the True Shot Barrage comes over.
Good, Lucid not Q out
of this one. That is going to be Kiin grabbing the first kill back here for Gen.G.
Managed to get the 1-for-1 trade, but even so, it's Ruler missing out on a ton of gold. It's Smash getting a kill, and it's Siwoo getting a lone time top to get plates and some extra farm. So Dplus Kia getting a pretty sizable lead.
Look at how far ShowMaker already is here. This is a classic Taliyah Vi move. You roam over so easily as the mid laner. When the gank comes through, they had stacked the wave. And Duro just left, unfortunately, Ruler by the lay side.
All right.
And look at what's happening in the top lane at the same time. The Ambessa's getting free farm here, so sure, you have Stand United, but it's just way too slow here to really get the impact he was hoping for.
It's also, if you're using Stand United to trade 1-for-1 in kills, like that's a big investment in terms of tools, and they still got loads of extra gold in the map. So now Gen.G they don't have that tool available to make a counterplay, and it puts DK in a really solid spot for this early game. 700 gold lead already for Smash, and really with Jhin, you're looking at 3-4 items, whereas Ezreal, 2 items is that massive power point, and he's very much accelerated towards that.
Yeah, also feels pretty good when you get to 3 and 4 on the Ezreal at the same time. So I think that definitely a good game state here for Dplus as Kiin finally makes his way back towards his top side. The Shen can be very frustrating as this game goes on, building towards that Titanic Hydra for item number 1. But Siwoo going to be getting closer and closer to the Eclipse, where I don't know whether Kiin will be able to do too much about it. Does have double buffs, though, from that initial kill going over his way, and that may help for at least a little bit.
You can see the gold here and where it is. Lucid, Siwoo, and Smash having the advantages. One thing I do want to point out is that even though Siwoo has that massive CS lead because Kiin did go down there, he got the kill, so he's not that far behind. You see the lead for Smash is 2 waves there too at 800 gold. But because ShowMaker spent so much time trying to threaten
beautiful game state for Dplus. Opinion drafts, I like the red side draft more.
He's the one who we haven't talked about too much, but this Cassiopeia is right now
doing well in lane, but that's Chovy, right?
He can do much with this.
I'd say he's Chovying a little bit.
He's Chovy. I mean, he's top CS in the game, as you guys could see. As he
Chovy hasn't missed a single CS or some shit. Madman.
I feel like it's the first time that we've said we haven't spoken about Chovy that much in a Gen.G game. So I'm really proud of us, just as a team.
He lasted 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes of game without only talking about Chovy is incredible, I would say. So, yeah, I'm proud of all of this. Okay, Kiin moving up here towards his top side. And yeah, the reason we haven't been talking about him is because it hasn't really been about the mid lane outside of ShowMaker cruising on a wall to get towards other lanes and influencing them instead. But
also, she has teleport advantage here from the earlier play since it had to be a TP back from Kiin, so that tempo matters here. It means that Canyon, because he's low on health, isn't going to be able to do anything. They just back, or he just backs rather, and TP's back in, and now he's at full health, and he's got back control of the lane.
And he's got the Eclipse, so it's kind of in a very rough position here for Kiin right now.
I mean, Eclipse, Sundered Sky for Lucid, Triforce for Smash.
Second dragon.
Big item spikes coming in.
All right, DK. I don't want to jinx you. I really don't want to jinx you, bro. Bless you.
Exahelia for Karma.
Bless you. Keep it up.
Difference in those early skirmishes for that extra sustain.
That's annoying.
That's super annoying.
You've beaten everybody else in the game. You just gotta beat Chovy now.
Dragon, because he knew that Canyon was topside, so he just heads right over.
You just gotta beat Chovy.
Is a wash. Just gets a TP out of Siwoo, and now they have double dragon here for this Mountain Soul.
Yeah, Canyon now going to move over and look for career as Lucid dashes in. Magical Journey gets Duro out of the way. Bit of a 1v1 between these AD carries on the bottom side of the map as Canyon is going to give up the ground as ShowMaker moves his way over. And Duro looking for another wraparound here. Career might be in a little bit of trouble as he does
Duro
get
with the insta flash, bro.
Flash out of Duro off the chain as well.
So fidgety.
Having a look now towards
Don't like
top
that.
side, though. Kiin,
not a good look, Duro.
We mentioned the Eclipse spike, and my goodness.
Also level
you gotta be the first one to go, Duro.
Ambessa gets to skill up her ult again.
Things go wrong, my friend.
More free sustain and armor pen. Just not mention that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. You got
the wheeze out of Atlus.
You did.
You got the LCK Trekcast wheezing in game 1. All right. We got Jhin, we got Ambessa.
I was hoping to save the wheeze for game 2.
Zeri's falling out of the mud. I don't even have a job here anymore. I don't even have a thing.
No. ShowMaker played Zoe again. Remember, you can have your old job back.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Let's talk about mid out of turrets. It'll be fine.
Look at the CS advantage here for Chovy.
I just hope.
It's still...
I don't know how long Tarzan's contract is with LVO.
It doesn't really mean anything just yet. I mean, it's an early rod purchase for Chovy, which isn't a spike in terms of damage. So I don't think Dplus really care that much about it. His ruler here is going to have some help from Duro, but he is flashless. Be very careful. It's just going to be a back to come through here for Smash.
Oh, he got the minion and he stopped Smash's recoil. That's efficient.
That was clever. Both AD carries really
maximizing
their annoyance capabilities.
I think if Gen.G got carry as Soup, they would be the best team in the world.
One more time. 350 gold to lead here for the Ambessa, but...
Well, yeah. They potentially still are, you know. They just need to get out of
this game continues.
This phase, you know.
The Dragon, and it's going to be
Keep in mind, it's still the same roster that dominated 98% of the year last year. And even the beginning of this one.
Stacks up a few of those.
We'll see.
A squishy composition like this plus a
Maybe
Shen
not the best time to bring that up,
could
but
then just become absolutely impossible to deal with. The Shen always makes his way in, as the burst would not be enough to take him down before that Stand United comes through. And on the other side, I mean, Dplus will just be even more bruisery.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at that coaching changed.
So much more threatening, so much more frustrating.
Ryu.
You can't burst those targets down before they get on top of you. And, you know, I'm concerned right now, if Dplus gets Soul Point, they have so much freedom to play the map with their global Taliyah and the Taliyah Vi setup there. Get one piece of CC, like you said earlier, Aux, in the draft. You get all the CCs. Speaking of CC.
Yeah, Vault Breaker comes down. Canyon goes up into the air. Cease and Desist held onto here by Lucid for now. As the little doggo is going to get punched a little bit by Lucid, and it looks like the Raptors are what's on his mind. Smash missing a few buttons as Ruler is able to sidestep, so the Jhin is going to be all right in that mid lane. Duro unable to find too much joy moving up towards these Raptors as well. Ruler will finally get poked out here by Smash. And the Dplus AD carry having a very, very good time here in this mid lane for the moment.
There's so much pressure and control from Dplus Kia. They have the control wood line in the river near the dragon. They have the extra vision in front. Having the Ezreal set up in mid, just able to push out.
Look at that CS lead from Siwoo, bro. He's
such a powerful position.
He's enjoying life, man.
And a minute 45 until that next dragon.
He's enjoying life, plain and simple.
A way to get into the river, get vision access.
That's
so if
what's
you're
up.
face checking into this Dplus Kia composition, you're just gonna get exploded.
Absolutely, that vision is so important. And that turret with it is ShowMaker maybe under threat here. Magical Journey.
Yeah, Magical Journey does come down. There is the wall out though.
Strange combo from Duro. Why would you ult from max range rather than take the portal then ult?
Magical Journey combo looked slick, but it just have to hit.
Yeah. We'll work on that.
I guess he knows that when he's gonna land and be
Shelly is going
stunned.
to get a little bit frustrated here, but I don't think anyone on Gen.G really wants to start her up with so many bad guys towards that top
Pot
side.
of Grid, our resident
comes in, Siwoo taking
Dplus fan.
rough end of that trade for the moment.
Let me show you guys a tweet that Porte Grid did.
So much vision control and so much space
cracked
control
me
over
up.
this Herald right now, Dplus do, and they have the mid prio.
Let me show you
there's
guys.
bottom lane control for Siwoo. He has a free teleport whenever he wants to use it. I think this
He
Herald
said,
is likely going
let's
to eventually
save
go
the
over
org.
to Dplus here. There's just no challenging it. There's no tempered fate.
To a 10 million reward for anyone who kills Donald
They are
Trump.
going to set up for. We're going to see Lucid back and reset first.
Let's save the org, hero.
The top side right now.
Yeah, Pickaxe just going to be
You goddamn psychopath.
moving towards his bottom side jungle. Rift Herald just going to kind of be given up for him as you're going to have to get
Bro is not
back as Kiin is pushing him away. Duro and
gonna be allowed to travel to America.
He's going to turn up and protect his top laner alongside Lucid. There's the Vault Breaker flash.
Okay, Lucid going a little bit too deep, but he's so tanky with the mercs and the sundered sky. Lucid gets the R on Canyon. He doesn't W it on time. Talk about wash.
And the seismic shove will
But
not
DK
pick
got
up
it,
the
man.
doggo this
DK
time.
got it.
Chovy could be in trouble. The
Chovy.
rotation here from Dplus. She sidesteps the petrifying gaze.
Chovy, just die. Just die. Let Dplus win. He'll feel good. He'll feel good.
Smashes it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
And she just going
He'll
to
feel
give
good.
Smash a
It'll
pat on
feel
the back
so good
as
to
he
see
goes
Dplus
back to
win. It'll
base.
feel
The
great.
setup from Dplus Kia so good there. Multiple flashes.
Is the Eclipse
Jhin
first item
across
correct
the
on Ambessa
board
here?
as
It's
Gen.G
correct every game, bro. This
scrambles to
item
get
is
away.
not balanced on
They still
Ambessa.
lose two, though, and they're
This
gonna
shit
lose this
insta-procs
dragon.
for some reason, bro.
They didn't start Herald. All they
It
control is
just
they have
procs
full vision there.
perma on
They realize
CD,
JGR
percentage
there.
health,
Clear,
and
maybe
shields.
caught. It's got help though.
Canyon gets over that wall. Oh man, the Mantra W is just ridiculous. Is now roller down to sub 100 health. In the meantime,
Third
though,
dragon,
Lucid
ladies
just
and
takes the break,
gentlemen.
and DK will back away. That is sole point, and they have a monopoly.
Lock in Dplus. Lock in Dplus. No craziness. No craziness.
Chovy just trying to clear up some vision. Kind of greedy, to be honest, considering how many friends of Dplus are on the way down. And Kiin comes up here to try to wrestle away this push and try to get something back, and he's almost able to get smashed, but instead just looks like someone had FOMO, wanted to get involved on the play. And Chovy was going to die 100%, but I think thinking you could save him there is unrealistic. Trying to kill Smash was a good turn, but he's not successful. But man, Lucid going to that bottom side play to cover instead of doing Herald was so huge. It got them, it was the first domino of a set of dominoes here.
ShowMaker getting targeted.
And the pathing for Lucid this game, he's been everywhere he needs to
Boom.
be all game long. Gets the
Smash.
dragon and Herald
Channeling his Calis Criminel.
Oh, dear.
Doesn't hit the banana, but maybe the Vyq though.
Yep.
Ruler with the flash of desperation. 5-1. The game is over. The game is over.
Perhaps is now smashed between these turrets.
ShowMaker.
Clears out the way very
ShowMaker.
comfortably, though. The rest of Gen.G not there to defend.
Yeah, man.
The Jhin.
Yeah,
And now
man.
Smash 2,000
Win it, ShowMaker.
Has that 2-item spike, the fully stacked Mermana, has both summoners, and you look at the side of Gen.G, there are no flashes available. You're already so far behind. The enemy Ezreal is already so strong, and with none of those flashes, I think Gen.G just can't really contest Dplus Kia in a 5v5, even in skirmishes, for a long time.
His Herald to take is not realistic here either. Even with just Lucid, he's going to be able to buy enough time for Smash to come over, for Career to come over. ShowMaker does have Weaver's Well. They're just going to have to give it up. They thought they could get at least something out in return here for all the commitment there in mid, but they will get nothing, at least not until they group.
And they have teleport advantage towards bottom side of the map, but Gen.G still do not feel strong enough to go for this fight.
A bold flank coming out here from Gen.G.
And I think it's just simply not going to accomplish all too much.
There is a fair bit of defensive vision, but they have skirted it for the moment. That's an arcane shift over. You didn't want to see that one, as there's the ult in from Canyon. Smash in so much trouble. The curtains are being called for the arcane shift.
Please, DK, please.
The petrifying gaze comes down, and
Please,
there
it's
is
not
the
necessary.
shutdown for Canyon.
It's not necessary.
They get their target, but at what cost?
Oh,
as the outer turret
fuck.
fell in mid, another one falls
Why
in
you
the
done
bottom
that?
lane.
All right, pause.
And Dplus
Remake.
still 4.5
Looks like
down
no reps.
strategy. And we're back.
I guess they did it.
All right,
The
lock
unplug,
in.
plug it back in, turn it off, on and off again.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I did work in IT for a bit, and that was 99.9998% of my job.
Wow.
I kind of do miss the old Windows XP burner when you, my favorite esports sound snap.
Oh, man's rogue. You gotta
or out of the observer
gotta look at the. I look at life through a different lens, bro.
This is the desperation move we just talked about. Smash is able to buy enough space.
Gen.G with a portal flank on Smash, and honestly, fair play to Smash. He dodged a lot of shit there, bro.
A ton more.
Also, they had to get the
We're
fourth
back
shot
in
from the
game.
Jhin, and that last little dagger from the
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
One of those.
yeah.
I don't want to see
And they hadn't
Canyon
even got that
steal
kill,
nothing.
so
I don't want to see someone get caught before the objective where we have to give it up. There always has to be some
Minutes left into the
something.
soul. Chovy's gonna have his rod complete. He's built
limit
defensively
risk
here
across the
on this
board and
Cassiopeia
just
with a
show
rocket
up.
belt, which isn't necessarily gonna
It's
be a lot
like,
of big
you know,
damage in
playing
this
a good
fight.
late
Jhin
game
is far
when you're ahead.
from relevance.
It's like being a good dad.
I
Just
think
show
Gen.G,
up.
that was-
Don't
they
do
were hoping they would
anything
get so much
crazy.
from that fight
You don't
that they
need to
were gonna get
reinvent
product.
the
They were gonna
wheel.
actually be in
You don't need
control
to
of the
gamble
Dragon, but
all
instead,
the
it's
money
gonna be
that your
another
household
miracle.
has
Rabbit, they're gonna have to
because
follow
you
their
want
hats
to
on this
buy
one.
your son a
And two
new
items has been
scooter
done here for Siwoo as
and then
well.
get scammed in the
But,
process.
So much power.
Don't need to
here in
work
this
your head
lane.
off.
If you look at the
You don't need to do.
inventory,
Just
there's
show up.
multiple Gen.G
Just show
members
up. Don't do
who have
anything crazy.
most of the components, the items
Just
they want,
show
their
up.
second item, like you
Yeah.
look at Kiin, you look at Ruler. Not
Just
having
show
that
up.
rapid fire for Ruler,
1
not
minute.
having that
You need to be
Lucid
there.
Kiin is such a
It's
big
team.
issue.
It's your
I feel like
son's
gold leads, if you
soccer
just
match.
enough to get some extra
Football
components,
match.
doesn't swing it that much, but
You just
completed
gotta show
items
up.
are such a spike, and that's
Don't
really
get caught.
where Gen.G are behind. And 45 seconds, we do see
Taliyah pushing all the way. I
Ruler and
respect
Kiin
that.
falling,
Taliyah
so
getting the
hoping
wave
they're
in
gonna be able to
with
finish
the
this item. So
information.
rapid fire comes in. Does Kiin
Just
have to
show
go
up.
on?
It's gotta be close. Yeah. It's gotta be.
And when you're there, just
Looks like he
listen.
wasn't able to
Just
finish it.
listen.
Not exactly the greatest.
Get
yet,
to
but
know
we'll
your
let that
son a
stand
little
united
bit,
in
get
order
to know the
join
dragon.
a fight. Teleport in from ShowMaker will bring him over towards his dragon.
ShowMaker
20 seconds
TPs.
early.
This midwave is what
Dplus
matters.
can get this one
This
set up. He's circling
midwave
around these
is
walls.
They're trying
what
to get some
matters.
here, but the dragon is so tanky. You know, it's mountain dragon. It's not like they can rush it. They're gonna have to force a fight here. Rod
Chovy
completes
level
for Chovy.
15.
He's not
That's
16.
the bottles on
This
ShowMaker. That's a
And
massive
Ambessa
tool
just gonna
being
go
wasted for
wide.
Gen.G.
With control of mid for now.
I need you to
ShowMaker with the
posture
thumbs
forward,
up.
Smash. Don't be afraid. Take some inspiration from Kali's Criminal. Take some inspiration from Pays.
As we do have Siwoo looking for
CC
that
Chain.
flank.
I don't like
Execution
this,
is gonna go
DK. I don't
wide.
like
So
this.
far up, and he's pushed out of the fight. Miasma goes down. Kiin gets into the
I don't
backline.
like this,
Siwoo
DK.
doing the same thing.
Ah!
So good here for Chovy, still doing the damage.
Why are we
And he takes out
engaging?
Smash. Seismic shove goes wide. ShowMaker.
We
still
have the
incredibly
range
healthy in the fight.
advantage.
And the fourth bullet goes wide. Still Gen.G
Oh.
members standing. And they will be able to take control of this.
Dad,
Dragon. Dplus, though,
why?
seeing
Dad.
whether they can get on in here and disrupt. Lucid
Why did you
still
have
with
to
that
do
smite.
this,
They
Dad?
get the Miasma down and they take down the Drake.
I think they pulled the rabbit out of the hat. Chovy's able to live with just enough health there to turn around and get that massive ultimate. You kill Smash, you win the fight. This is all Chovy here. Looks like he's
Why are we
pushed
Q
too
flashing
far
onto
forward,
the
but he's got
Cassio,
Shen ultimate. He
brother?
itemized defensively. That's the difference maker here. That's how he survives, and then wait for it. able to
Why
push
do we
his
engage
ultimate.
first?
Literally perfect as he takes
Ah,
Smash
Chovy
out
played this
here,
mental.
and that wins them the fight and gets them their first dragon of the game. It's
Chovy.
still a long way to go
And
for Gen.G to come back in this game,
Chovy.
but this is step one.
That was absurd
Chovy.
timing. It was crazy. I mean, he was just dead. He was just a split.
I don't know if they could have done
second
anything
earlier
better
or
to
later
actually
in any way.
kill him.
Actually,
Like,
smash
was
off
some
guard.
damage
Also,
mix
in terms of
missing?
the window to
I
get
don't know.
the dragon,
Siwoo just did an
Siwoo had
ult.
TP. He was
He just
resetting
didn't
the
hit
TP back in
ult on
at
the
full
Vi
HP.
combo. If
With
they
that
waited
shield,
just a
he
half
would've
a
just run
second.
rampant with no cooldowns available. So Gen.G, I feel like everything aligned perfectly. They did exactly what they needed.
Honestly,
to
Chovy
get
has
that
done
dragon and get
enough
out now.
donating to
They're not
charities,
words,
you know,
but
like
they have bought
every
themselves
time I
time.
see something about
So,
Chovy
I think we need to go
donated
back to talking about Chovy
30
all the
million
time.
won
Because
to
that
this
was
charity,
an
to that
unbelievable
charity,
play
like
to save the game here for Gen.G as
he's
Canyon
done
flips on
doing
out.
charity.
Let's have to deal with all those rocks strewn on the ground as it looks like this is just a battle for a Rip Scuttler for the moment. Smash taking a fair bit of damage here from Ruler, making use of that rapid fire cannon, but another true shot barrage.
Here we go again. That's the combo from Taliyah. Descended on the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia gets petrifying gaze. 1-for-1. Through Sandstorm.
It's in trade for
Shen
Lucid
is
though,
TPing deep.
as Siwoo will teleport into the fight. Kiin does the same thing. Massive shields for these top laners. With the 1-for-1 trade, and feeling okay here for Gen.G, especially when Siwoo gets turned on here at the top side of the fight. ShowMaker comes over, but he's the only one
Did
here
you
to
just say
support
Siwoo
outside
gets
of Korea,
turned on?
who finally gets on over. Smash now.
That's the
gets
Ambessa
on in, and
ultimate.
there is a public
Ambessa-ing.
execution.
Ambessa-ing.
Duro's gonna die on the backside of the fight. Canyon has
Smash.
to get out of there.
Ooh, doesn't get the kill on
Chasing him down.
Canyon.
The shutdown comes
Smash.
in from Kiin, though. Korea so
Q.
incredibly close to
Woo!
dead.
Aimbot, baby. Oh, do it
And he's
to
looking
him.
for another one. He wanted to kill all
Holy
of them at the
Smash
same
was
time.
playing as
But
if
the
he's
true shot barrage
cross-eyed.
misses. Still, he's able to take down
Jesus.
Kiin, and Dplus back in the
Just
driver's
fighting
seat
two
once
fights
again.
at the same
Smash
time.
makes up for the earlier
Brilliant.
mistake by cleaning house on Gen.G.
Holy
there. Only
moly.
Canyon
Almost
able to
MOG
escape.
montage.
And we get to see his point of view. He's just skirting around the fight flawlessly. Mystic shot after mystic shot connecting on these targets. And for a bit of
Boom,
time, it felt
boom,
like Gen.G was
boom,
able to
boom,
stabilize.
boom,
But Smash is just
boom.
advancing onto his counterpart.
Boom,
chases
this Q
down
here
Ruler, does
on
not miss that
predicting the
final
dodge
shot.
down.
Endless hunger in the inventory. It's a
Holy
huge spike. He has
moly.
third
Holy.
item. So if you're able to hit all of those shots in this extended fight, you are just going to take it over. And there was a moment you could see Career realize this fight is won. We're no longer focused on winning the fight. We're focused on the chase down. He went forward, flashed in there to get the root onto Ruler because he knew we're looking to clean up. We're not trying to fight to win anymore. I don't need to defend anybody. Smash doesn't need my help. And Dplus incredibly confident in that moment.
And I have to say, after Smash gets caught out like in the most pristine moment by Chovy, still playing that like fast and loose in the very next fight. I mean, that is pretty impressive.
Oh, they might
Name
be
it, Jeff.
ShowMaker here. We've seen a lot of bottles, Tempered Fates thrown at ShowMaker, not so many actually hitting, but
ShowMaker's aware.
Wouldn't back off.
Yeah, he's aware something is going on. He's going to play defensively. He's going to get Lucid to come up.
Max, I'm
Yes.
gonna have to point something out of you, and I'm sorry about this.
Oh,
But
go.
take a look at Ruler's.
Oh no 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 no
Upcoming
no no
bid
no 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 no. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk about it.
I thought you were going to mention that Siwoo got level 3 of his ultimate.
I was gonna say, like, he's level 17. I haven't heard about level 16 yet from you, Daniel.
Yeah, it's pretty broken. But you know, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure Collected Jhin has it in to cut through him.
Smash has doubled nearly the damage of Ruler in this game. And when you're accelerated on that Ezreal, you have those 3 items, and the Jhin is behind, and the team is struggling. You just aren't going to be able to do a whole lot. Chovy's the one who has to do the big damage. He has to do the heavy lifting.
And Smash just got his 4th item.
Yeah.
Cyrildas is just done.
Yeah.
He's 4,200 ahead.
That is a lot of money ahead. I'm looking at the gold lead, and yeah, that is 80% Smash, and that's exactly where you want the money on at this stage of the game. 5 kills on this Ezreal as we have a look at him right now. Just, yeah, printing money. On the rip.
Okay.
30 seconds until this next Drake, and that is Soul
I'm
once
so
again, an
emotionally
opportunity
spent
to
after the
PK.
T1 KC game. Usually we only have like a series like that once a day. Now I feel emotionally exhausted.
Out of the hat. I mean, the last time his play was cinematic. It was almost
Please,
like
no
an
tragedy.
anime.
Just Ezreal stand in the front line, poke. They can't engage on you. Smashy, I need you to posture forward, baby. Leverage yourself.
Here on this upcoming dragon fight. This time
Don't be afraid. You should be where Career is right now, queuing them. Stop running so far back, Smash. Where you going? Oh, he's going to the midway. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Smash is such a massive
He's playing the midway. He's playing the midway.
If Gen.G don't shut him down, he will dominate this fight.
Well, teleport to come in
Alright,
here.
Smash, push it forward. Poke him,
Looking
poke
for
him.
that angle.
Poke
Actually
him.
has a really
Got
good
range
one
advantage.
here,
Poke
but
him.
the ward will
Poke him,
spot
baby.
out. Duro
Smash
gonna
it,
try and
poke him.
catch as she was
Poke
able to
him.
dash his way out of there.
Poke
The
him.
deadly flourish does not connect though.
Poke him,
Lucid
Smash.
does have control of this
Poke
Drake
him.
for the minute. There's the Weaver's Wall as Canyon
gets
is
Shen
still in there.
ulted.
He does not want to give away this Mountain Soul.
Alright, alright. Yo, what the hell did Chovy get it?
But can they actually win the fight? Tempered Fate.
Siwoo, alright. Smash POV. Smash POV. He's gonna get the Penta. Gets the first kill. Surely Smash, he can. Ooh, he got it, bro. Ezreal's just the MVP of this whole tournament. Ezreal's legit the MVP of the whole tournament.
Smash
The whole
ships
tournament.
left. He's cutting off the retreat. He says no one's getting out of
MVP
here
the Ezreal
alive.
highlight
They
reel
get
of this tournament
completely
is
wiped
nuts.
on the dragon fight, and there was just nothing in it for Gen.G. The Fury ultimate can get you out of a lot, but there's so much CC to avoid. He dodged the true shot barrage because he knows Smash is the scariest part of this
Oh
game.
yeah.
And she was diving in and just causing so much chaos. They didn't even get the Mountain Soul. He didn't have the extra durability. He didn't care. They could not cut through him in time, and Smash bearing down on them just decimated Gen.G. We're gonna get the replay. Canyon ends up taking so much damage to the wall, to putting it in this uncomfortable position. We have to decide to be ahead of it or behind. Makes it very hard. Chovy does secure the dragon. They try and escape using the ultimate.
Ruler building collector? No way, he built the third. Are you kidding?
Off the retreat, and Siwoo says, I have the backing of this Ezreal. Him and Lucid dive in, and despite getting low, the damage just isn't there, and Smash is hitting Mystic Shot after Mystic Shot.
There's just no way out, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, the Fed Ezreal's on the left side. Guess we'll push towards the enemies on the right. The Ambessa's just flying through. They're in the blender. And I think this game is now all but done. Gen.G had that one Hail Mary fight. Chovy had that amazing ultimate, but that's all they've had in this one. And I think that was their final chance to win something big and get the gold back. And now 10,000 gold behind. I think they're thinking about game 2.
I have to say,
Serpent's
we were
Fang.
watching Smash's perspective
Honestly.
the first time around. Looking at it again, though, like, Chovy getting caught
I feel
by
like
that
Gen.G has done
seismic
this in the
shove,
past, no?
coordination's still there from the
Where they're
rest
like, yo,
of
we need to buy a
Dplus
Serpent's
to
Fang,
make
and then
sure
2
that
people do
Smash
it.
has all the space in the
What are we
world
doing, bro?
to
You had the
dance around
makings of an
battlefield.
IE, mate.
It's beautiful to see.
Ruler
Here
might
from a
go.
Dplus
Well,
that
what's
had
happening,
some
man?
difficulties in some of these games, right? Like they had, you know, the 0-10 top lane situation. You know, like there are a few moments here that have been a little shaky. This time around, though, Dplus looking fantastic. Another shove will connect as Chovy not going to get saved by a tempered fate. Don't know whether that would have been a savior-type maneuver anyway, as Sheer getting this push into the mid lane, really pulling Gen.G around the map. Kiin are going to lose a lot.
He's just trying to get Bounty go on the bottom side. He's going to have to come back here to defend his team with his teleport if the fight does break out, but he just knows, I mean, he can't do much good here sitting back as a melee. He's trying to get money for them on the other side.
Yeah, it does have to stand united, but the problem is...
Come and collect DK. Duro fishing.
As Dplus
almost dies.
will take down the inhibitor on the top side of the map. Now looking for this mid lane. If they break 2 of them, it will mean that the Soul should become pretty comfortable to take down. Not going to happen this time around, though, as they are just going to go for the reset. Having a look to see what kind of items are going to be coming in next. Is it 5 for Smash? And yes, it is.
Wow.
So,
wait, we've got a BF as well.
Yeah, he's half a GA.
Wow, 5 and a bit.
Yeah. And as well, Siwoo has the death stance now, and I just think they don't have the damage to cut through it. They just don't have the space to breathe when he's bearing down. Chovy is really providing the DPS in this composition for the most part, but you know, a lot of his itemization, as we said before, has been defensive, which, you know, it makes sense. I'm not going to criticize
into this comp,
that.
I mean, for real.
But it just means you don't have the same level of damage output that can cut through Siwoo quick enough. Death Dance buying so much time. Now, Canyon has found a bit of a flank position, but looks like they're not pulling the trigger yet.
Yeah, Gen.G wants to play against T1. Well, I mean, if they do lose here, that is exactly where they're going to be. I don't think we have any bad matchups the rest of this tournament at all. Like, everything is a banger, no matter what we get. The Cinderella story of KC versus DK would be unbelievable. But then, alongside it, in the 3rd place match, we get Gen.G versus T1, one of the all-time classics of South Korean League of Legends. So we are kind of spoiled towards the end of EWC here, but obviously it is very early days. This is still game number 1 of this best of 3. Dplus are in a great position. They still need to destroy the Nexus. Gen.G have been tenacious in the past.
So much push power here. 15 seconds until what may be, on the 3rd time of asking, is Soul here.
Going in.
Yeah, looking for the Shen delivery system here as well, as they don't quite find the taunt. Smash just gets himself out of the way, uses his barrier. That is going to be ShowMaker falling down, though, as Lucid gets into that backline looking for Ruler.
Smash is still alive.
Flash will be able to create a whole lot of distance, but I don't think he's going anywhere. Down to the GA. Public
We're sending it with Ambessa. How balanced is Ambessa? We'll find out today on this episode of Ambessa.
Trying to get a little bit of space here in this fight, but Gen.G, they just grabbed 2 picks.
Why is it always something on Drake? Why is there something always on Drake happening with DK? For as long as I've watched this roster, it's always something on the Drake.
Should almost be taken down, but not quite.
Ambessa engaging, Ambessa engaging. Why did Bod live? Why did Bod live? Chovy with the beautiful hourglass. That's GA. He's baby Kiin. He's baby Kiin. He's baby Kiin. Holy Siwoo! Siwoo!
He's going ballistic in the back line. He'll be taken out finally as the curtains have been called. And Smash has to shift away, but that 3rd bullet will be his last. And the shutdown comes in for Ruler. That gold advantage for Smash is cut in half. And now both teams have soul point.
Oh, but Dplus,
wait a minute.
Looking for an angle.
Don't tell me they're going to be able to stop them from doing this, Dragon. Kiin taking a lot of damage from ShowMaker, who has finally turned back up to this fight. Career there to help him out.
Back away.
Just gets out of the pit, and Lucid's going to come on over. This should be Mountain Soul.
It was so close here for Jhin from denying
all planned, baby. All planned.
Entire play.
This is all planned. Come on now, Soul. Come on now, dap me up, baby. Dap me up. Come on.
It doesn't
Give us some love.
They had the GA to play through.
The fact that they ended up taking down, and a big thing here is so Kiin's waiting for the arcane shift, but unfortunately doesn't wait it out long enough. Then Chovy looks for the mid jungle, finds them, and then Lucid does his best to escape, but walks on a trap that slows him down. The thing is, this is a great start for Gen.G. They've really found an impossible situation and kind of made it possible. But the problem is the members still alive, importantly, are Smash and Siwoo, who are just so strong. Smash with all the damage, and Siwoo just so survivable in this situation. He goes in, and even though eventually he goes down to his GA, we see Kiin try and go for a taunt as he comes back up, but he dashes immediately, and then just cannot handle the fresh set of cooldowns. He causes so much chaos.
Yeah, and there's just no way
the fact that Ruler is allowed to
They
live,
don't
that is
have the Naafiri ult
crazy.
anymore. It's about to come back up, but it isn't there, so they just cannot close the gap. And finally, they take him down, but so much damage has been done.
If Siwoo had one extra damage item, Ruler would have been dead in that fight. And I think Siwoo would have just straight up
Okay. Latches onto Ruler. ShowMaker doesn't find the combo. Siwoo Death Dance. What is Lucid doing? What are you doing, bro? Look where your teammates are.
Gen.G are just trying to
Lila!
They're trying to outplay and out-team fight Dplus. They have a lot
How
of
did you get
tools.
there?
They're trying to set that up, and this Cassiopeia is getting bigger and
What is
bigger.
Lucid doing
so they are
here?
able to, for the moment, win a small battle here. Killing Lucid, they will be able to get this inhibitor respawned, and little by little, they're whittling away at that gold lead. We're getting later and later into the game.
I don't know, guys. You know, the last time we talked about Jin's items, talked about his bullshit Serpent Fang, and now he's here.
At a certain haircut
And now he's here.
Yes.
How did this happen?
My least favorite haircut is a result of
I feel like
these
that
two
was like
teams.
3 minutes
Absolutely
ago.
true. Thankfully, no bets were made in this game, but it has been absolute chaos between the two.
This peel was so good. Kiin putting down the shroud to block the auto attacks. And
The
then
Serpent
when
Fang is
Lucid
doing
goes
work,
in, a
bro.
great stun from
Serpent
VODs
Fang.
to keep
The
Ruler
Serpent
alive.
Fang on
The peel,
Naafiri
look
has
how
been
low Ruler was, even with that
insanely
phenomenal
valuable.
peel.
It's
He could have died
crazy how much
so
value it
easily
has this
there
game.
if it wasn't perfect play from Gen.G to get him out.
And now you've got full items for Smash. The GA has now been completed. Ruler is only one behind though. He has his Infinity Edge done. He has the Mortal Reminder completed. He is doing some damage, even with that Serpent's Fang, to help deal with a whole bunch of these shields that are going to be coming in, especially with the Mountain Soul on top of Dplus Kia.
And, I mean, Kiin has been behind this whole game, but he's so difficult to kill now. With his ultimate as well, it makes such a big impact. But with Jack Show's running, you know, it takes about, 2,000 Ezreal Qs to actually kill this
That's
guy.
a lot of Ezreal Qs.
And he has the MR for ShowMaker
Nice.
as
Porte Grid
well,
calls
so
his team
he's built
right side.
accordingly
He
here,
doesn't
and
even
it
say
means
dumb one.
that,
It says
you know,
right
it
side
buys
is
a lot
out
of time
skill.
for Chovy, who's eventually now starting to get some of these damage items
Jesus.
online. Bloodletter's curse
That's
is
crazy.
completed, and in longer fights, which every fight has gone incredibly long, he is going to do so
Who
much.
is
They're
dumb
actually
one?
looking to start
True.
Baron.
I mean, they do it so quickly.
Dplus Kia!
This Cassiopeia really cuts through that Baron extremely quickly. But they're not going to be able to stay on top of it. Dplus understanding, getting that vision where they need to.
I miss the Korean casters, honestly.
But this game feels like it could go either way. I really do feel like Gen.G have righted the ship and created such an even game state between these two squads. We've got 2 minutes until the Elder Dragon. And I mean, it wouldn't be
DK.
Gen.G versus Dplus without a little bit of Elder
Starting the Baron,
right?
though, and there's a lot of Gen.G that needs to really get over here quickly. They're going to back Kiin and then TP him in.
Yeah, does have the stand united, so you can go for the doggo delivery system. They would like to get Canyon in there. True Shot Barrage going to be avoided there by Chovy as Dplus. They just pull off the Baron. Man, Mountain
I'll
Soul
never
kind of
forget
broken
when
for that.
Cloud Templar said, Super
Elsa
Wonder
moving
Man.
forward.
Yeah, they
Wow.
get the TP of Kiin,
Super
which is big.
Wonder
He
Man.
still has to stand united now, though potentially looking.
Yeah,
Lucid.
looking to try and get on in
Lucid,
there.
bro,
He
you're in a
does take
different
Ruler out
zip
there. He tries to
code.
flash to get to safety. Down to the
Lucid.
Guardian Angel now as Kiin turns up with about 1 billion health. He looks like a Baron with that
Lucid.
health bar right now. And once again, it's Lucid taking a nap.
Pushing mid, though. Pushing mid, they're going to
Lucid.
get this inhibitor at least, so even though they end up
Where
getting
we
the pick there,
going,
Gen.G
bro?
will lose their, part of their base.
Let's see whether Dplus can actually keep them busy as well. As you see, the Shen makes his way over Kiin, fighting against Siwoo. As that inhibitor does
I think Ambessa hard wins that, no? Cassio is there, though. The Petrifying Gaze in the pip. ShowMaker, making maker. I want to see you hit the combo.
He's now letting the rest of his teammates move towards that
Siwoo
top side. In the
tragedy,
meantime,
Lucid
it is gonna be Siwoo
tragedy. It's
going
all
down.
coming
Kiin
back
able
to
pick that
me.
one up. for
It's
his
all
fourth
coming
in
back
a
to
row.
me.
And the curtains have been called. Maybe ShowMaker's in trouble
It's
now
all
as he
coming
does get
back
a
to
nice
me.
shot back with a flash forward from Duro comes in. And ShowMaker will be taken out. Gen.G, I swear over the last 7 minutes of this game, have just done only the right thing.
It's been such a good game from Kiin. He's everywhere. He helps defend the push. They lose the inhibitor, he gets the kill, and they buy space on the top side despite being a man down there. 3v4, they are able to defend. They get the Baron, and this comeback is unreal.
The decision-making and the resource allocation, sending 2 back into the base and using those 3 just to
They have
kite them
Nash.
around. It was such a daring move, but it got them the Baron.
That's
It
a
succeeded
clever
in the heist,
hourglass
and
buy
now
there for
Elder up
Ruler.
in 15.
Siwoo lost his GA too, so he doesn't have GA.
Lucid.
We'll be able to
We lost
TP
2
back to
GAs
this
in that
fight, but
sequence,
this is going
bro.
to be the game-defining moment. So many turrets to go through. It's crazy. We were going to see
They need
a
20
massive gold
seconds.
swing.
2
They need 20
GAs lost.
seconds before these solo laners can come in, and I don't think they've got it.
Is this the biggest
As
throw of the
Gen.G
year?
will
Nah,
start
blood.
off this dragon.
We've seen some
Lucid
bullshit
gonna try
this
and make it a
year.
50-50
Smash
smash,
no
trying to get in
E.
there with these mystic shots.
Ambessa on the
But it is
flank.
so dangerous, and this is
All
going
right,
to go
Lucid,
incredibly
Lucid.
quickly.
This is your moment,
He goes,
Lucid.
he does the
Of course,
manage
Chovy
to
gets
secure
it.
It's Chovy that picks up the dragon.
Did you guys
And the
see
Kevin
that they
Feige is gonna
burst
land on
at
this match.
3,000?
He tries to arcane shift
What
out of the
the
way. He
hell?
will
They
successfully
burst
leave.
at
But it's
3K,
Lucid
no?
dead
With
once
4th shot?
again. And Gen.G have got everything.
Gen.G were 10,000 gold down. They have 1 turret to their name. They're going to take a gold lead here on this push in a 42-minute game. This is absolutely insane, the turnaround here. The resilience, how much they held on. An absolutely bonkers game now without Lucid here. It's very difficult to look for an engage. Siwoo's on the flank to try to stop this push, but he's going to get bound.
Yeah, Canyon moves on in. And will be able to push you out of the way. The magical journey is going to try and catch him here. He uses the ultimate to try and stay unstoppable and get out of the way. ShowMaker trying to buy some time, but it's not going to get enough. And with the Elder pushing through, it's still another 1.5 minutes on this massive buff. And Gen.G are just unrelenting. Lucid dead for another 5 seconds. It might get them a 5v5 in their base. The problem is, the stats are just ridiculous on Gen.G. Chovy going forward, looking to try and lock down ShowMaker. Into the Tempered Fate he goes. And Duro gonna slow him down.
I don't know, bro.
At least he manages to
But that's
get
the
that
poisonous
Chaos
thing about
out
League of
from
Legends, bro,
Korea
is that
to help get
there's some
ShowMaker
teams
out
out
of
there
But Gen.G, I mean, they can go back and look for
that
a reset
just
if
make
they'd
you
like to.
forget.
At least Dplus have that inhibitor down in mid to
You're
help
like,
buy them a
damn,
bit of time.
they're actually
Yeah,
good.
the game is
Is
definitely
this?
not in the state they
Are
wanted.
they gonna
if
keep this
bought
full?
enough time and
No
weathered out
way.
the Baron and
Look,
Elder,
look how they're playing. 3 dragons,
Yeah.
control of the game, good team fighting, smash popping
off
off everybody, and then
makes it in.
and then they just pull you out, bro. They pull you out. It's kind of like, you know how in Obsession, where like Nikki just like came out of that control.
Edge plays, making them weird and coming out clean time and time again to get back to now have a gold lead in this game.
And everything just comes back to you.
Comeback. Like a miraculous one. Sure, we all saw the bro versus DNS game, DNF at the time. Everybody knows that story, right? But this is a different.
And then we're like, you know,
we are seeing here. This is not a throw.
and then we know already. Oh,
We saw the miraculous catch
well,
on the smash,
are we
right?
surprised?
Like that was the
Lucid
first
engaging
step
too far on
back
Vi?
in.
I've seen
And
this
it
a
feels like
million
the stuff we've
times.
seen after that is just almost
Siwoo
comparable,
getting
almost
caught
even
on
in terms of
midway,
how
just
difficult
team
it is to
fighting,
pull,
completely
how
isolated
challenging this
post
game has
30
been to
minutes.
play.
It's Siwoo
Gen.G
classic.
did not
ShowMaker
lose
getting griefed.
control
Bro,
of
that's
their
every
mindset,
Tuesday,
right?
bro. Every Tuesday. There's not even
crazy
LTK
stuff
on
here.
Tuesday. It still happens on
I
Tuesday.
didn't make a bet. So.
Do you want to?
No.
Yeah, I think that's a good
It's a bit
idea.
late at this
I
point
mean,
anyway.
Smash had a 6,000 gold advantage, and now gold is entirely irrelevant because they all have like 7 items, both of these 80 carries, but that is already down to only 1.5k.
When I met
Like,
you
this game
in the
is
summer,
entirely stabilized, and
Think about-
it's neck and neck.
If you think about the mental fortitude of Gen.G in this game, it's absolutely crazy, right? But consider that this series might be ruined. This is what I'm afraid of. If Dplus lose this game, which right now they're not
CV
in
Max
control, they're
therapist is
currently
gonna make
losing
so
this
much
game.
money.
How
Bro,
could
they don't have
recover
any
this
money
much
to
money?
pay the therapist.
If you lose this game, I think it is
Ruler on midway. The old trusty. Oh, the flash in the bottle's kind of nice. How does Ruler live? How does Ruler live? The good old trusty going midway.
Looking for Chovy, who goes down to 50%, but will be all right for now.
Canyon sending it, but that's a beast of an Ambessa.
But I believe Dplus have made it out of there.
Beast.
The problem is, they're the ones that started it.
but they got the flash from Ruler, and that's the fact that the state of the game didn't really change, but they got Ruler's flash. You take that. Definitely a delicate spot, but they've disengaged from the situation, and now we look, Baron in a minute 15, Elder in 2 minutes. The Jhin is a much more vulnerable target now.
Absolutely. And when you look at the, I think part of why Dplus have lost control of this game is both AD carries can't do traditional AD carry jobs in this game because it's an Ezreal who can't break through this Shen's health bar and get access to Chovy and a Jhin, right? So which of these mid laners do more damage? It's the Cassiopeia that's fully scaled up into this late game. ShowMaker could get a pick, and I think Dplus need to play for pick like they just did to try to get Ruler. Because in a straight up 5v5
I don't think it's super clear. Like,
has a real true advantage.
Taliyah is on death cap. She has better scaling items than Chovy. Chovy is just bulkier.
On ShowMaker, so that is a big deal. Yes, he's only got 4 items, but at least one of them is a pretty dangerous one.
Ah, that's Chovy death cap. All right, scratch what I said. Now Chovy does a test shit ton more damage. He always got Rabadubia, bro. He got a hat.
That's a good trade.
Yeah, I would say that is a pretty good trade.
Plus have a Vi, Taliyah, Ambessa comp. I think they have to do something crazy, like, you know, start a Baron early and look for a turn. They're looking for picks right now. She was surfing on the edge.
Yeah, trying to play side lanes with this Ambessa.
Gold leads become completely irrelevant. Yeah, now it's just composition, position, more composition. And then finally position.
Kind of difficult with the miasma there, but it does get skirted by Siwoo, at least for the moment.
All right, Smash, you need to hit some pre-fight cues, son. Otherwise, there's no point in playing Ezreal.
Exactly what Dplus is doing now.
I like how Ruler has pre-put a lot of these
Elder and Gen.G like to play for
Lotus bombs or whatever they're called.
They are moving towards the Elder pit, the more relevant objective in this case.
It's going to have to be played so intelligently by Dplus if they do want to win this. I feel like Gen.G have gotten over that mid-game hump and are just deadly in these 5v5s, especially if Kiin finds the right target. He's so good at protecting his carries.
The Elder's now
moving forward.
They put time. Elder's 10 seconds wait, and Gen.G are towards the dragon.
Ooh, Chovy actually getting hit by some spells here. Mantra Q slowing Chovy down. Duro getting chunked by Siwoo. Is there a light at the end of the down one tunnel?
There is Korea getting taken down by some of this bleed damage out of the Naafiri. We're getting pushed out though.
Starting to work on the Elder. Chovy looking for a wraparound here.
Yeah, he can weave his wall to make his way in though.
Chovy with the wraparound.
Might find himself a little bit alone and not with the rest of his teammates.
She was in the pit. Siwoo is in the pit. I repeat, he's in the pit. Why is he alone? Why is he alone? Like Kevin, he's alone. Bullet to the head. Kiin taunts. ShowMaker gets a 4th shot at his head, and the Cassio hits everybody.
Trying to get into the cosmic binding's fantastic. Canyon gets rid of Korea, but now Lucid is trying to make this one happen. Smash is in amongst absolutely everyone. Trying to lay down these mystic shots. True shot, and he murders everyone. It's Kiin, the last one standing, but Smash. No way! No need for a dragon. And
holy Smash!
Look at its face! That true shot barrage just gave me goosebumps across my whole body. I cannot believe they won that fight. It looks doomed.
Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, is Gen.G
holy
Dplus Kia, and we might have 2 more of these.
We just watched Gen.G claw that game back for 20
Nah, rewind that shit.